Hi, I'm Kat, and today we will be talking about the global issues that women today face. First, let's talk about education. Did you know that women make up 2/3 of adult illiterates, and in 76 countries, less than half the eligible girls are enrolled in secondary school? According to the World Bank's report on gender equality and development, over 31 million girls are not in school right now. And out of all the scientific researchers in the world, less than a fourth of them are women. And if you don't think that's crazy, I don't know what to do with you. And while, yes, developing countries have made progress in reducing the gender gap in education, it's still nowhere near where it needs to be. Now let's talk politics. According to the WCF Foundation, in U.S. politics, women only make up 17% of Congress, and women of color only make up 4% of that. And in addition, women of color only make up 4.7% of the 7,382 state legislators. In addition to that, the US actually trails behind most of the world, numbering at 79 and tying with Turkmenistan for the amount of women in its national legislature. Now, in global politics, 17 countries have women as their head of state, head of government, or both. In 80 of Rwanda's lower house seats, 45 of them are taken by women, and Rwanda is leading the world in its number of women in parliament. However, women only occupy 21.3% of parliamentary seats worldwide. Now, sex trafficking. 59% of sex trafficking victims are women, and 17% of sex trafficking victims are young girls. 76% of transactions to have sex with underage girls start online, and according to the Young Women's Empowerment Project, 20% of its constituents in the sex trade were transgender girls and females. Domestic violence. In the US, 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence in her lifetime, and women aged 20 to 24 are at greatest risk for this. In the US, for every 3 women that are murdered, 1 of them was killed by a former or current partner. And in the US, 22% of transgender women are victims of domestic violence. Globally, 38% of murders of women have been committed by an intimate partner, and recent figures have estimated that 35% of women worldwide have experienced domestic violence. Now, female genital mutilation. The World Health Organization cites FGM as any procedure involving the full or partial removal of the external genitalia, or as any procedure that causes injury to the female genital organs for no health reasons. FGM has no health benefits. According to the Desert Flower Organization, FGM mostly takes place in Africa, but also has instances in the Middle East and with immigrants in Europe. 140 million girls and women are currently living with the consequences of FGM, which include, but are not limited to, cysts, trouble urinating, infection, and infertility. FGM is usually carried out between birth and the age of 15. Now, you might be thinking, oh gosh, how are these things ever gonna change? Well, you keep your butt in that chair and I'll tell you. Globally, governments are working to reduce domestic violence rates through the passing of legislation. For example, Thailand's passing of the Protection of Victims of Domestic Violence Act, and in the United States, South Carolina's recent filing of 2 anti-domestic violence bills. There are also organizations such as the Ark of Hope for Children, which provide mentoring and safe houses for sex trafficking victims and survivors. In Egypt, there is a volunteer-based initiative called HarassMap, which works to provide citizens with the knowledge of how extensive the country's sexual assault rates actually are, and to lessen social acceptability of a sexual assault in Egypt. My personal heroes happen to be the women of the Gulabi gang in India, self-professed women in pink saris wielding bamboo sticks of justice. Their website says that they protect the powerless from abuse and fight corruption to ensure basic rights. What initially started as just a movement to punish oppressive husbands and brothers and fathers has turned out to be so much more, and now they have tens of thousands of women in their gang and tons of male supporters. These women are always at the forefront, bringing about change in the best way that they can, which is direct action and confrontation. If you'd like to learn more about the issues or organizations that I've mentioned, please check the links in the description. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys learned something.